Hello, everybody. Well, today, yes, see my dirty desk. I'm in the middle of a project, and I'm not liking what I'm seeing. I had an X-Force box come in, and it got rebuilt to something else. But in doing so, I ended up with 3 remaining power supply modules. Now, I don't know who's building at X-Force, but you need to watch it. If you buy any base amplifier from X-Force, I'm only going to say X-Force. I'm sure others are doing the same crap, but X-Force is the only one I can guarantee, because that's where these came from. I've taken them apart. I got to modify them for cooling solutions, because they're going to go into a homemade amplifier down there. But, yeah, these, what he did, well, I don't think he really gives a shit, because it's not his house they run in. But these could burn your house up. You want to know why? Well, we got our AC line, 110, and then we step 110 DC. This drops down, and then this drops down to the 12 volt. But look what he did over here. I don't know if you can see that. Check that shit out. Every one of these power supply modules, he's jumped the fuses out. Every one of them. Now, I wonder if he'd, hold up as responsible if his shit burns somebody's house down. I highly doubt it, people. This is stuff you don't know what's going on, because you buy your X-Force box. You don't know what's inside the box. You just flip the switch and, oh, it lights up. But you need to be really careful. You got some real good hackery going on out there. As I said, the fuses are jumped, man. Right there. Right there. Thermal fuses are removed and jumped out. Another thing is, see this right here? They're taking the temperature of this toroid, output toroid, to turn on the internal fan. When this isn't the key thing that gets hot, these over here are. These are your output regulators right here. This is what needs to be monitored. They needed to take this thermal switch, okay, take this stupid rubber off of it, because this is ground. They needed that on the chassis, right with the heatsink. So as these get hot, this would detect these getting hot and kick the fan on. But here's another dilemma. Let's see if we can stack these back over there. Which is something that a lot of people don't think about, because, well, it's just out of their thought. Okay. We have these power supplies, minus the cover. We'll say that it's got its cover on. Okay? There's a fan right there, right? There's no exhaust down here. These vents are covered because, hold on, because when the circuit board is in it, you have one of these sheets in there that keeps it, keeps it from shorting out. As you can see, it blocks up all the vents out the back, which aren't enough for cooling anyways. So, you have this power supply with the fan right here. Then they go, well, that's only 30 some amps. We need to make it 60 amps. Well, guess what happened to that fan? It's not sucking air. So now this power supply is going to cook. And then, same with this one. Because, well, that's only 60 amps. We need to get some more juice. Well, there's 90 amps. So now both these power supplies are not taking in air at all, because they set them in there literally right tight with each other. You know, when they stack them in there. That's how they stick them. Just like that. So you would have the one that's got the fan. Okay. And that really doesn't have much vent holes. The only functioning vent holes are right here. Plus, the high voltage side isn't even heat sinked, which should be something against these, because these will get hot. But the 12 volt side would be heat sinked to the metal on the bottom. So, you stacking these modules, you're just looking for trouble. You know, what I'm going to do in this scenario is I took all the fans out. Okay. This one's going to get blocked off, goes here. And then here is going to be a cutout. This is going to be one solid module with the covers on, of course. And I'm going to use 120 millimeter cooling fan that actually is a fan. Okay. That will literally suck air in the back, poof, blow it out the top. But you couldn't normally do that because these actually have a back on them that goes up the back side over here. Right here. You know, that has your rating on it and shit. So that would, excuse me, that would be blocking off most of the back. So I removed them. Now I can suck air in here, blow it out the top. So I'm going to have airflow out of all three power supplies, even through and out. Right like that. But you guys need to really be careful. I don't know about Wizard and all these other ones that use these modules for their bass amplifiers, but you really need to be careful. With all three of these fused, that would be 9 amps. 9 amp fuse required, right? Because each one of these is a 3 amp fuse. So you need a minimum of a 9 amp fuse. But say one module burned up, and usually these go quite catastrophically. I've seen literally boards literally charred from flames. So say you have one literally catch fire on you. You run to the grocery store, you leave your amp on, and the thing goes pop bang and starts burning when you're not home. Okay, that little 3 amp fuse ain't going to save it because it's jumped. Okay, well, if you put a 9 amp fuse in the item, that's still not going to blow because it's over what all the traces on here are going to draw. There's not a trace on here that won't burn under 3 amps AC current on that high side. So this will literally sit there and burn flames before even a 10 amp fuse will blow. These cannot be jumped like that. So my advice, if you buy an amp off a box builder and you see that the little yellow seal on it has been broke, which all 3 of these were, you better pull the lid. Make sure they didn't pull a fast one like this. Because if that's jumped, you need to take those jumpers off there. Unless you don't care about your house. You got good homeowners insurance. But, yeah. And remember about the cooling fans. You start stacking them. Say that's a power supply right there, right? And then you add another power supply to it. How's it going to cool? And that's how they're all configured. Every box builder does that. I can see it if maybe they left a little gap between them. But they don't. They sandwich them right tight together. And another fire hazard waiting to happen. Alright, there you go. I'm done with my ranting. I got a lot of work to do. Unjumper these fuses. Redo these temperature sensors. Actually, just going to have one board with a temperature sensor. Actually, I don't even think I'll use that. I'll have a fan run all the time. Don't know yet. I'll figure it out. But, people, seriously. I ain't making this video for my health or my enjoyment. This is just to let you know what goes on out there that you don't see. Think about everything that was said in this video. As I said, all I know is these came from X-Force. But I'm sure other box builders are doing the same crap. As I said, if that seal is broken on the top of your power supply, pull the cover. Make sure they did not short the fuses. Even if they did this there, you can leave that one the way it is. But you need to take the jumper off there. Do not ever short your fuses. Okay. Catch y'all later. See ya.